Okay, all right, guys, welcome to this tutorial again. If you haven't watched this tutorial, you can just click the link below. I linked the format tutorial, the one we did from the start. I linked that below. You can click that, or you can check the board right here to watch that before coming to this video. So now I want to make this website responsive. We've coded it from scratch. Now I want to make it responsive. I want to include a JavaScript. So let's start with the responsiveness first. I'm just going to minimize this website down. So first, I want to create the 1200 pixels for the media query. So I want this. When it gets to 1200, I want to remove this, the third one. I want to remove that. I want this one to display none. I just want to display just 2 boxes for the blog. So for us to do that, I'll just come down right here. And I'll say at media only, at media only screen, and mass weight. I'll say that I'll set that to 1200 pixels. So I want to get a blog, the blog ID, and dot box 3. If you still remember, or if you've watched the former tutorial, you see that in the blog section, we have box 1, box 2, and box 3. So I want to remove this box 3 when the website gets to, let me just show this so you can see. So look at the top right here, you see. Now we're at, okay, now we're at 1094, 1194. So now I want the third box to display none. So I'll just use the display none, save that. And now you see we have just 2 of them. So that is what I want when it gets to 1200 pixels. And I want the width to be 90% and the margin, I want that to be auto as well. So I will just say blog width 90% and margin, I want that to be auto. Save that. Yeah, see there's a bit of space right here. We're still going to use the JavaScript for us to switch between the two of them. So don't worry about that. So now I'm going to copy this. I just put an add link tag right there. So next I want to go to the hero section. I want to change the weight of the image here. When it gets to 1100 pixels, so I'll just target the image. I have hero, the white, img, and I want the weight to be 400 pixels. So let's just minimize that. You see the weight changes. I'm gonna copy this and I'll go down below, I'll paste it here. Save this. I want this also to be oh no, I'm sorry for this. I want to change. We're going to go back to the global styling. I want to change this to 90%. I want to change this to 90%. Now it's okay. It's working better. So I'll go down below. I'll just copy this media query and I'm going to paste that below right here. I'm going to change this to 1000 pixels. So let's style the website when it gets to 1000 pixels. Now we are at 1000. Now we're at 995. So first I want to start the hero section. We start with the hero. So I'll start with the left, the text at the left. So say ID hero dot left. I want the weight to be 350 pixels and I want to align self to the center. Still look good. So now we say copy that and paste hero. We target the right, which is the image, which is this image. I want the weight also to be 350 pixels. I'm going to save that. And now it's looking good. So now we'll go to the blog. These are still looking good on 1000 pixels. And these. So we'll go to the blog. Now comment that out. Just say blog. So I want to target a weight. I want the weight to be 100%. And I want the margin to be auto. I'll save that. So the weight is 100% and the margin is auto. So now I want to target a feature. I'm going to copy this. Now paste it here. I'll change this to features. I'll save that. Let's go to the features. Okay, this is the features right here. So first I want to target the ID. Features. I want to change the weight to 100%. So I want the weight to be 100%. And I want the height to be 350 pixels. And the background color, okay, don't worry about the background color, we'll leave that the same. So save that. See, this has extend a little bit. So now I want to target the container. So the white background right here, this part is the container. So I want to target the container or the feature area. So I'll just say hash features dot container, the class of container. And first I want the grid template, column to, I want the image to be 55%, and the text at the right, I want that to be 45%. And I want the padding, top and bottom, I want that to be 70 pixels. Left and right, I want that to be 30 pixels. The margin top, I want to include a space at the top. So I want, before we use the margin top, I don't know what we use, but now I want it to be minus to 30 pixels. And the weight, I want to change the weight to 90%. I'm going to save that. And now there's a little bit of space more. So that's being done. I want to also work on the more features. So I'll just copy this and I'll paste that here. I'll change this to more features. I'll remove this, and here I'll have more features that with the container. And now I want to change the size of the image at the right and the text at the left. For the text at the left, I want that to be 45%, and the image, I want that to be 55%. I'll just save that. That's looking good. And next, we want to go to the 900 weight. I'll copy this and I'll paste it right here, and I'll change this to 900 pixels, and I'll take this down to 900. Yeah, we have 899. I'll close this with a closing tag. So now I want to target a menu. Now I want to change the menu. I want to target a menu and make that responsive with a hamburger. As you can see, now we have the hamburger for this. Okay, we have the hamburger for that. All right, guys, let me just, okay, I just fixed that. So you can see, now we have the hamburger on this size of the website, which is 900. So now I want to create a hamburger for this as well. So I'll go back to the CSS. And first, I want to target the menu, nav, on the order list, and I want the padding left to be 0. I'll save that. Mm, 0. Now I want to target the menu as well. Now with the list item, I want that to display block. So now it is on a straight line, but I want these and these to display block. I want them to stack on each other. So I'll just say display block. I want the padding top and bottom 20 pixels, left and right 0. And I want the font size. I want to change the font size to 25 pixels. I want to increase that. So you see, oh sorry, battery is kind of low. Let me just plug that in. So now you see that it stacks on each other now. Don't know where the can't find the icons. There will be somewhere, don't know. So now you see that the nav list starts on each other. Now I want to target the link and I want to change the color. So I'll just say menu nav list items and the A tag, and I'll just color. I want to change the color for that to this black. Save that. So now let's target the menu itself. So I'll just say dot menu, the menu class, which is this class right here. Let's go to the HTML, and the menu class is this class right here. So I'm going to target, I want that to display block. I'm going to save that, and you see we have the social medias right here. So now I want the menu that social. I want to style the social icons. So the background, I want that to be RGB. No, don't want to start a background color. I want to increase the margin, the space. I want that to be 10 pixels. I'm gonna save that, and there's a little bit space right there. So next I want to increase the margin top. So I'll just say menu, that social icons, image, and margin top. I want that to be 50%, 50 pixels. So it comes down a little bit, comes down from the top. So now, after that, I want to style this class right here. Top nav, I want to style this class. So now say dot top, call the class top nav, and I want that to be fixed. So I want the nav to be fixed. I want it to stay at the top. Whenever we scroll, I want this to stay at the top, the navigation. So now I'll just say we use position fixed for that. And I want it to stay at the top. So I want top 0 left. I want that to be 0 watts. Sorry for that. I want that to be 0. And the bottom as well. I want the bottom to be 0. Why am I doing this? Keep doing that. I want the bottom to be 0 and the weight, I want to change that to 80%. I save. So you see, so whenever we scroll down, it stays there, it doesn't leave. So as you can see, let me open this. You see, it stays here. So this is what I want. So now we're going to, let me go back to this and 80%. I want the main height. The main height, I want that to be 100 view height. And I want the mass height. The mass height as well. I want it to be 100 view height. So I want the Z in this. I want that to be 100. Don't know why I'm using 100. I think 100 is too much, but whatever, we're going to use that. So the Z in this is for us to bring this closer to the top. So the more the value you put right here, the more the items comes closer to you, come closer to the top. So I don't want this to go stacking under anything right here. Seems, let me just remove this first. I want to show you something. As you see, it stacks under the footer. You see, this goes under the footer, so that is what I don't want. I don't want something like that to happen. So I want to bring this to the top of the footer. So first I'm going to bring this back and I'm going to save. Now you see it comes to the top of the footer. So the more the value, the more the item, the element comes up. So next I want to start I want to start this class, the menu mobile. So I want to start this class, so I'll say dot mobile dot menu, call the class of mobile and menu. So I want to position that absolute top 0 left. I want that to be 0. I want the bottom to be 0 as well. Oh God, what's happening? I want the bottom to be 0 as well. And I want the weight to be 100% using the same value I use right here. So I'm just going to copy this. I'm going to paste it here. And next, I want the test. So align to the center. I want to move the test to the center, save. You see the test now, everything is at the center. So next I want to increase the padding at the top and the bottom. So I'll just say padding top. Okay, let's just increase the padding at the top. We don't need a bottom. So I'll say padding top 80 pixels. I want to move that below. So now I want to give it a background color. Background, I want that to be this EEE, and I want to increase the margin, remove the margin. I want the margin to be 0. And I'll put the Z index again. So the Z index, I want that to be 100 as well. So transition, I want it to have a smooth transition when coming from the side. I want that to be all dot 4 seconds. I want it to be ease in and out. I want the transform. I want that to translate x minus 100%. So what this would do, it will move this to the x. This is the x-axis, So it will move this to the x-axis minus 100%. So it will go way into the side 100%. I don't know why I'm using 100%, but I think that is better. Want it to move away. I don't want to see it. So now you see, this has been moved way. This is the finished website, but when I click on this, it brings it out. Click on it, it takes it way 100% to the side. So that is what we want. That is what we want right here. But before that, I want to comment this out and I want to save and see. You can see now we have this working. Seems I have to change the color of this. The color of the icons is kind of white. So I'll just go down here and I'll change the color of the icon. I'll change that to background. Change the background color to RGB, RGBA. I want this, but I'll change this to 2. I'll save that. Now it's way better. So now I want to uncomment this and you see what happens. I'll uncomment this and I'll save. You see, let me save again. Okay, let me just save this. See, it goes way to the left. So I want to remove this space. I think I just noticed there's a space right here from the other video. Didn't notice that before. So for us to remove that, I'll just go to the top. I'll go to the top and I'll go to, I think this is happening because of the menu. So I'll just say margin. I'll remove that. I'll make that 0. Yeah, now this is looking better. You see, whenever I save, it comes from the right to the left 100%. So the next thing we have to do is I want to start a hamburger icon that will be here. We'll be using pure CSS for that. So that is one fun thing we are going to be doing in this tutorial. So we're going to be using pure CSS. So I'll just say dot menu icon. So I want to create the icon, which is the hamburger. I'm going to use the height. I want the height to be 25 pixels. And I want the weight, I want that to be 30 pixels. I want the margin for that. I want the margin to be 3%. We're going to save. There's nothing yet, but you see, I don't want this to keep happening whenever we save. So I'll just comment all these. No, I'll comment these out first. Comment this out, I'll save. So I want that to stay like that. So now I want to position this. I want to position it first. I want it to stay at the top. So I want the top to be 10 pixels. I want the right to be 6%. And I want to display inline block. I want that to be vertically aligned to the middle. And I want the Z index to come way on top of the website. So I will let that to be 120. I'll save that. And we do not see anything yet, but don't worry. Let me check. So we're styling this menu icon. Yes. So now we'll go under this. I want to style the span. This is where we're going to create our hamburger. That's what we're going to use to create our hamburger. I'll just say menu icon, span. And first, I want that to display block. I want to give it a background color. So I'll just say background. I want the color to be F3, F3, F3. So I'll just save that. You won't see anything yet. So I want the weight to be 100%. And I want the height to be 4%. To be 4 pixels. Now we should see something. So now we have one line for the hamburger. We're going to create 2 lines later. So first, we have to make this margin top. We want the margin top to be -2 pixels. And we want to position it absolute. Want to position that absolute, and want the left to be 0 and the top to be 50 pixels. Sorry, 50%. I'll just save that. So now it is absolute to the body itself, and it is from the top, it is 50%. The weight is 100% relative to these 30%. If I remove this 30%, the weight won't show because we've removed this 30% we put on the menu icon. So I'm just going to put that back and I'm going to save. So the weight is 100% to this 30% relative, 100% of the 30%. And now we display that block. The height, we want the height to be 4 pixels. Let me just increase this to 10 and see what happened. The height now is 10 pixels, so you can just play with that. You can just modify that, change it the way you want. So I want it to be 4 pixels and -2 at the top. Margin top, I want it to -2, so that when we create the next icon, the next line, it will be -2 from the top. So now I want to create the next line. So we'll create that with using, I want to copy this because we're still going to use almost the same thing. But now I want the menu icon. I want this to be, I want to use the pseudo class before and menu icon, and I'm going to use the after pseudo class after. So I'll save that. It'll still be in the same place. They are still on the same line. So what we're going to do now is I will just use the contact. We have to use the content. So that I won't include anything in that. I won't include anything in this. So we want the background to be this color as well. We want it to display block 100%. We want the height to be 4 pixels. I'm talking about a tool, and want to remove this margin from the top. Want to position absolute from the left 0, bottom the top percent. I'm going to remove this. Now I'm going to transition. I want to use the transition property. Transition. I want that to be rotate. No, I'm sorry for that. I'm just going to use transform. Rotate. I want it to rotate 0 degree. And I want transform origin. I want that to be center. Center. I'm going to save that. And you see we have 2. You can see we have another one at the top. So I want to use the transition property to create the animation, to create the transition animation when we click. I want that to be all. Sorry for that. All 0.3 seconds is. I'll just save that. And now let's create the before and after. So I'll just copy this, paste it right here. The before, I want that to be top. I want it to go to the top 2%, 2 pixels, and margin top. Margin top, I want that to be minus 2 pixels. I'll save that. And I'll copy this. I want to create the after, the one that will be at the bottom of this to make the line 3. So I'm just going to copy that and paste it here and change this to after. And I want this to be 2 pixels. And I'll save that. What's happening? So now there should be another third line right here. You know what's happening? Oh, sorry for that. We have to change this top. We have to change this to bottom. We change the top to bottom, and I'm going to save that. And now we have another third line. Let me leave that. Seeing this line is a bit closer to this. Okay, just going to leave it like that. So next, when we click, we want this to change into a times. We want it to change into this sign. So to do that, we have to remove the line from the center, and we are going to cross the one at the top and the one at the bottom on each other. For us to do that, we have to first dot shown, menu shown, want to get a menu shown class. This is the menu shown. Should have the menu shown right here. Oh, we don't need to have the menu shown in the HTML. We just create that here. We're going to trigger that with the JavaScript. So I have the menu icon, class, and the span. So we're going to trigger this with the JavaScript. So whenever we click on this, we want it to cross on each other and want it to display the side bar. So now I'll say background. I want it to be transparent. So we're going to, whenever we click, we want to remove the background of the center, and then I'll copy this and paste it here. And the menu icon, I want the before, I want that to be the top. I want it to be 50%. Transition, the transform rather, I want it to rotate minus 45 degree. So whenever we click, I want this to rotate minus 45 degrees. So it comes like this, which is the before, the one at the top, it comes like this. So you see, whenever we click, it comes like this. The first line comes like this, and the one at the bottom goes like this. So that is what we want. So that is for the before. So I want the background color to change as well when we click. So I want it to change to the black, this black. So I'll just copy. Oh, sorry for that. I'll just copy that and I'll paste it here. And now I want this to be after. First, I want it to be 50 minus, and I want it to be the same, but I want to remove this minus for the before. I want that to be 45 degree, and this I want it to be minus 45 degree. Hope you guys understand what I'm trying to explain right there. So next I'll just paste this here, and I'll remove the before and the after. And I want to target the menu shown, mobile dot menu. I want this to be transform, translate, x, 0. So these 4 classes right here is what we need whenever we click. These are the things we want to happen. You know, I commented these out, in which this takes the menu way to the side, but I want, when we click this menu shown, I want it to bring it back, translate x to 0. I want it to bring it back to the main position. This takes it, the translate x, minus 100% takes it to the side 100%, and I want this translate, I want it to bring it back to the main weight of the menu. You can see what I'm trying to do right here. When we click, I want the before to change to times like this. The before and the after, this changes to times. Then when we click, I want the center, the one at the center, I want it to be transparent. So I want to take that out. I want it to be transparent. Now, the last style is for it to come back out 0, to translate out 0, as you can see. So that's what we're trying to do here. We'll use the JavaScript to make that work better. So I'm just going to save this and we'll get to the rest of the styling. But before that, I want to comment all these out. I'm just going to comment these. I want to comment these out. So don't want to, okay, let me just uncomment that. I'm going to uncomment that. I'm going to save it. Okay, now it goes way to the side. So we can start with it. We can continue with the styling of the media queries. So I'm just going to copy these right here and I'm going to paste it right here underneath these. I'm going to change this to 750. I want to change this to, okay, before we change that, we still have some things to do right here. I want to stack all these on each other. I want to stack them on each other. So for the blog first, I'm going to change the styling for the blog. Comment this out, blog. And I want the blog to be, I want the weight to be 100%. And I want the margin to be auto. So let's go to the blog. Still have to comment this out. I don't want it to keep displaying that whenever I save. Just save that. And let's go to the blog. Where's the blog? Okay, I can't find the blog. Okay, this is the blog right here. So I want that to be 100% auto. So next I want to start the features. So for the blog, I want to I want to start a box, get a boxes and the UL. First, I want to change the main height to 350 pixels and the mask height, I want to change that to 350 as well, 350 pixels. And just say blog li. I want to start a list items column gap I want that to be 10%. I want to give it a bit of gap in the column. So I want the padding to be 10 pixels, 10 pixels, 0 at the left, 0 by the right, rather, 10 by the bottom, and 10 by the left. I'm going to save that. what that is. Okay, 10 pixels. Let's go to save that. What's happening? I'm gonna cut this away. Seems so next I want to start a blog. Also, I want to change the section title image list. That's that section, the title. Then I want to target the image. Oh, so we deleted this, the closing tag. I'm gonna save that. So we want to check something. I don't know why my CSS just bumped to the top. I'm gonna copy that. So I'm gonna save that. It seems it looks good now. Okay, now I'm going to change the weight for this to 1 to 220 pixels, and I'm going to copy that. I'm going to paste it below this, and I'm going to change this to content. The content, I'm going to target the H2, which is this right here, this test financial service. So first I want to remove the margin top. I want that to be 0. And I want to remove the margin bottom. Bottom, I want that to be 10 pixels. And the line height, I want that to be 30 pixels. I'm just going to save that. And it looks closer to the brand right there. So next, I'm going to paste this right here. I'm just going to create a closing tag. So now we want to start the 700. Oh, sorry, not this, not pasting this. Just going to copy that. I'm going to copy this. I'm going to paste it below this. Sorry for that. So now I'm going to open and close tags. So I'm going to target a container first. I'm going to change the container on 750 pixels. Sorry for that, 750 pixels. So I'm going to change the container weight. Want that to be 90%. 90%. Gonna save that. Gonna increase that to 7 pixels. $750. Now we are on 748, close to 750. So now I want the container to be 90%. And I want the section, I want to change the section pattern, the pattern at the top and the bottom of each section. So I want that to be, I'm going to use the pattern. I want that to be 80. The top 80 pixels, right 0, bottom 100, left 0. And next I want to start the arrow. So we start from the top again. I want to start the arrow. This will be arrow, and I'll say height. The height to be 1000 pixels. On the background to be background position. I want to position that to the left and left 0%. And bottom, I want that to be 2%. So I'm targeting this background image, this image which is the fuel leak, the test. I want that to be left, I want it to be 0%. But the bottom, I want it to be 2%. So I want to shift it to the top a bit. So I'm just going to save that. And you see it comes to the top a bit. So for that, next I want to target the hero container. Say hero container. I want that to be, I want it to display block. I'm going to save that so the image stacks under the, I'm sorry for that, there's a client contacting me. I'm just going to leave that. So the image starts under the image starts under the test. So next I want that to, I want to target the left, which is this. I want to style that. I'll just say hero dot left. I want that to be 100%. The weight, I want it to be 100%. And hero dot right. I want to style the right as well. Image img, I want the weight to be 100% as well, and I want to give it a bit of margin from the top, margin top. I want that to be 50 pixels. I'll save that. You see there's a bit of margin from the top. So now I want to go to the scroll bar. I want to design the scroll bar. I want to remove this. I want it to display none on mobile version. So I'll just say scroll top. I want it to target the div, the ID, scroll. Oh, scroll top. I'll just say display none. Save that. And now we don't have any scroll top right there. So now let's go to the blog. I want this to stack on each other. I want them to stack on each other. So I'll just say, comment that out, blog, say the ID blog, weight, want that to be 100%, margin, I want that to be auto, and I'll go say blog grade. Want that to be display block. Want that to display block. I'll just save. Okay, let's see what's happening. Grade display block. Block.grade. So display block, I want to start a block li, which is the list. So block.grade li, I want that to be margin. Top and bottom, I want that to be 25 pixels. On left and right, I want that to be 0. And we have the blog.boxes. I want the weight to be 85%. And I want the margin to be auto. Then block, wanted to display block, so I say boxes ul display block. I want it to stack on each other. Display block main height, want that to be none. Mass height, I want that to be none. Mass height, I want that to be none as well. And I want the weight to be 100%. I'll save that. Now go below and say blog li. I want flex none. Display block weight, want that to be 100%. The padding, I want that to be 0. Margin, I want that to be 0. Margin bottom, want the margin bottom to be 50 pixels. I want the cursor, sorry for that, I want the cursor to be pointer, and I want to remove the shadow. In the box, I'll just say box shadow. I want that to be none, so I'll just save that. And next, I want to why is it not? It's not stacking on each other. Don't know what's happening. Oh, let me just change the weight. Maybe it's the weight. Okay, now it's working. Stacking on each other. Okay, let's do this. I'll just use this. Okay. And I'm gonna remove this frame, so I want this to be 100%. Okay, I want this to be 100%. 100%, 100%. Boxes 100%, block grade. On a block grade, 100%. So I want these to be 100%. So just go down below, just say blog list over. I want to remove the background color for the over, background none. Let's copy this or paste it here. Change this to active. Flex none. Flex. Change that to none. Cursor. Default. Want that to be default. I'll save that. Now I want to start a blog. Blog li dot active. Get a class of section content. Now I want to flex. I want that to display none. Flex, I want that to display none. Transition, transform, I want that to be none. And padding, right, I want that to be 0. I want to remove the padding from the right. I'll save that. See, the text isn't displaying anymore, so just go below this. Say blog li dot section content, no section title. I'll say display flex. I want that to be none. And I want it to display block. Save that. Now it's in the middle. Now I'll copy this. And the image, I want to target a image. I want this to be, the weight to be 100%. Want it to be 100%. Now let's make these 70% for now. Weights 100. Let's make the mass weight. The mass weight 5,500 pixels. Save that. Okay, change that to 300 pixels. Okay, that looks better. So now I want the test to show. If you remember in the main website when we started, I removed the opacity of the test. I make that 0. That's why we are not seeing the test right now. So I'll just say blog. Say blog. I want to get a li and the section content. I want content. I want that to be, I want the weight to be 100%. I want the mass weight to be 400 pixels. Okay, I want that to be 500 pixels. I want these as well. I want the mass weight for the eye, for the mass weight to be 500. And I want now I want the opacity to be 1. I want the height to be auto. Now save that. And see, now we have the test underneath the blog. You have the test right there. So that's it for the blog. Now we maximize this. See, it fits in. So now let's go back. Now I want to start the feature section. This section, I want this to stack under this. So I'll say features I want. So I'll say I'll get a ID features and the weight, I want that to be 100%. The height, I want that to be 700 pixels. And the background, I want it to be this. Just going to save that. And then on the features, the container, I want to start a container. I want that to display block padding 50 pixels. The margin top, I want that to be minus 200 pixels. And I want the weight to be 90 pixels, the way it is before. Just going to save that. And let's drag this down to 750. And you see it stacks on each other. So that is it for the features area. And I want to make this stack on each other also for the blog section. So I'm just going to go down and I'll comment this out. Blog. And I want to get a container and I want that to display block. That is all. Display block. No, it is the, sorry, about. I want to target the about. So I want that to display block. So now it stacks on each other. Now we'll go to the just do it. I'm gonna comment this out. So dot just do it. Want to target the H1 and I want the weight to be 100%. And next I want to go for the more features. Just going to copy this. Now just paste that here and I'll remove this. I'll remove all these as well. I'll change this to more features. I want that to display block as well. So it's stacked on each other, as you can see. So now we'll go to the FAQ. Go to the FAQ. I'll just copy this. I'll paste it here. Change this to FAQ. And I'll change this as well to FAQ. So I change this to dot. It's a class, not an ID. So I'll save that. See, it stacks on each other. Now I want to style the dot right. Dot right UL. I want the height to be 0. And I want the weight for that to be 100%, which means I want the weight for this to be 100%, and the height, I want it to be 0. I'll save that. Say the height is 0 and the weight is 100%. We can't see it right now, but now I want to this should be displaying. Okay, I'll copy this. I'll paste it here. And I'll change this to LI instead of UL. And I'll remove the I'll remove this. And for this, I'll change the height to 250 pixels. Now you see it displays. So this is 0. Make that 0. So now I want to start the active. The active, which is not displaying now, this is the active. So I want to style that on this to be the active. So I want the height for this. I want the height to be 90 pixels. 90 pixels. Gonna save that now. Is displaying this, the active showing right now. So the next, we want to start the contacts. This is made with grade, so these will stack on each other automatically. So now I want to start the contact. I'll just copy this, go down below, I'll paste it, I'll change this to contacts. I'll change this as well to contacts. Change this to class, which is dot. I'll just save that. Want that to display on each other now. That is all for the contact. And I want to start a newsletter as well. So I'll just copy this and I'll paste it here. Want to change this to newsletter. So I'll change this to newsletter as well. First, I want the newsletter on the grid to display block. And I want the text to align to the center. I'll save that. You see? But I want some padding. And I want to move the newsletter to the top a little bit. I want it to be in the center of this line. So I'll just go to the top right here and I'll create a newsletter class. Newsletter. I want that to be padding. On the padding top and bottom, I want that to be 30 pixels. Left and right, I want that to be 50 pixels. I want it to go to the top, way to the top, 140. minus 140, I want it to go way to the top, minus 140. And I want the weight to be 90%, to be 90%. Save that. Now I want the button to stack under this. No. I want this input to be 100%. So I'll say dot newsletter input. Want the weight to be 100%. And I'll copy that. And I want the button as well. I want the weight to be 100%. I want the weight to be 100%. So I'll just say button. Yeah, button. Weight 100%. Margin left. I want that to be 0. And margin top. Margin bottom. I want that to be 20 pixels. I'll just save that. Now you see it stacks on each other. And I want this to go to the top. I'll just say, I'll change this to pixels. I'll include pixels right here. Now it goes to the top. So that is it. So now I want to start a footer. Just copy this, paste it below, change this to footer. Go down below, use the footer tag. On the padding top, I want that to be 200 pixels, and the margin top, I want that to be 50 pixels. So I want to start a menu, say footer dot menu. I want that to display block. I want the padding to be 20 top and bottom and 0 left and right. Let's see, let me save. Okay, stacking on each other. And I want the footer. Footer, nav, margin, top. I want that to be 30 pixels. Save that. Okay. Now want to start a footer. Bottom, the bottom right here. So I say footer, bottom, display block, save. Now it stacks on each other. I want to say footer, bottom, dot right, inner, left. I want that to be margin right. I want to remove the margin right. I want that to be 0. I want that to come closer to each other. Margin right 0. And that is it. Now I'm going to make this 10 pixels instead. Margin right 10 pixels. Okay, that is looking good. Okay, everything is stacking on each other now. but we still have to create a for the last mobile version of this. For the last mobile version, just change this to 500 pixels. So now I want to start the hero section. I want to change the height when it gets to 500 pixels. So I want to change the height when it gets to 500. See, now it is 500 pixels. So I want to change the height, say that the height is too much. So just say hero. First, want to target the hero ID. Hero, the height, I want that to be 950 pixels. Background, position, I want that to be left 0 pixels, and bottom I want that to be 5%, 0% and 5% for this. That is for this 5%. I want it to come to the top 5%. From the bottom, I want it to come to the top 5%, the left 0%. And I want to start the hero container. Hero.container. I want that to be, I want it to display block. Yeah, it's already display block and to be 0. Okay, I think that is all we're going to do for the hero. For the future section, just going to copy the feature right here. I'm going to paste that here. So for the future, I'm going to change this to future in small letter. So I want the height to be 650 pixels. Let's say 660. Let's save that. 660, 670. And I'm going to copy this. I know I said this will be the last, but now this will be the last. Okay, I'm going to change this to 400 and I'm going to remove the hero section. I'm going to change the height for this to 750. Change this to 680. I'm going to save that. And now it's looking good. So now let's head into the JavaScript, and first we're going to toggle the navigation menu. So for the JavaScript, I'll just come in. For the JavaScript, I'll just go to the HTML. I'll go below the bottom, and under this, I'll link to our script. Script.source. So that will be main.js. I'll save that and I'll go to our JavaScript. When I open this to this size. So first let's do this, and before that I want to go back to the HTML. I want to uncomment this part of the HTML. I want to uncomment this, and I'll save that. Okay. What's happening? On comments, save. Okay, now let's go to the JavaScript. Now for the JavaScript, I'm going to comment this out. This is for the so now I want to create a function because I'm using jQuery for this, so just going to use the $, documents, that's ready, and I'm going to include function right here. Function. So now we've created a function. In that function, we want to target the menu icon, which is this. Now for us to target the menu icon, I'm going to use the $. And I'm going to create, and I'm going to say dot menu, want to target a class icon. So I want to target this. Let's go back to the HTML. I want to target this link menu icon, which is this. So now when that is clicked, so we're going to use the click property. When that is clicked, we want the function this function I'm going to save that. So want this function to target the body first. So now just say the body, just call the body, and then we want it to toggle. This is a short way of doing it with jQuery. Want it to toggle this class. So it's going to trigger this class whenever that is clicked. And the class we want to toggle is the shown. This class right here. We want this to happen. All this we used in the class. We want all this to happen whenever this is clicked. So whenever this is clicked, want the jQuery to toggle this class, and the class is menu shown. So we just target the class and we save. So when we click, okay, still loading. Nothing is happening. Okay, don't know what's wrong. jQuery. Oh, sorry for that. You have to download the jQuery CDN. The jQuery CDN, I have to copy that. I'll just go to the jQuery CDN and I want to get a minified version because we're still going to use that for the scroll effect for this scroll effect. So I'll just get a minified version, copy this and paste it. I'm going to paste it below. I'm going to paste it below this. Going to save that. And that should work now. I'm going to resize the browser back. Still loading. So I'm going to click. You see, this is working perfectly now. So that is for the menu. So now we're going to comment this out as well. Now I want to write a code for this. So whenever we click, we want a smooth scrolling, not just jumping to each section. We want a smooth scrolling for that. So I'll just create this. Comment this out. Smooth scroll. And under that, first we want to create a function. Okay, I'll just copy this and explain because we've taken a lot of time already. So first we want to create a function, and in that function we want to target the menu list item. We want to target the A tag, the menu A tag. Whenever that is clicked, the menu A tag, this is the menu A tag. Whenever that is clicked, once the function want to call an event in which want this to scroll. This is hash. The hash is, which is, let me explain that, which is the hash we're using right here. Okay, this is the bottom. Want to go to the top, which is this. So we include an hash right here. So whenever the menu, any menu link that has an hash, we want to target the ID for this. So for that, we're going to target the HTML animation which we created right here. I'm going to show you that right here. We created that right here. This is it, HTML smooth scrolling. So we're going to target that. I want that to be offset to the top, which will be 100%. The seconds, we want that to be 100, to be 1000 seconds, which is 1000 seconds to the bottom. 1000 seconds to the bottom. Now, after that is clicked, window want that to go to the location of the hash equals hash. So this hash is a function which it's a variable which is this hash. So this hash is a variable in which represent this. So now when it is clicked, you want the window to go to the location of the ID of the hash clicked. So this, let's save this and see. So let's go back to the top and click. You see the smooth scrolling is happening right there. So we want this to also to be a smooth scrolling. So whenever we click, we want that to be a smooth scrolling. This is menu A. So want this scroll top, want that to be a smooth scrolling as well. So I'll just copy this ID and I'll go to the jQuery, put a comma here. Oh, I'll put a comma there and I'll paste this right there and use the A tag as well as save that. So now we're targeting this as well, which is this. So I want this to go to the top, back to the top, to the ID. So let's go to the blog. And when I click this, it takes us back to the ID. See the smooth scrolling? And I want this contact to take us to the contact form smoothly, you see? But I'll go to the contact at the top, which is this contact button. I'm going to copy that. Okay, I'm going to copy this button with this contact and I'll go to the JavaScript, to the jQuery file. I'll paste this here. Need this to be button and since let's check. I want this to be the class of, just copy this. Okay, wait, let's give this a class of btn. Save that. Go back to the jQuery and I'll change this to btn. See that? So just go back to the top. So I'll click this. You see there's a smooth scrolling right there. Takes us to the contact form. So now I want to create the I want to target this. I want to create the JavaScript for this. The jQuery, I want to create the jQuery for this blog so it works like this, like the finished website. So now I want to first, I'll comment this out as well, blog. And this will also work for this. The same will work for this. To target this as well. Something like this. See? So for us to create that, we're going to create a variable first. And I'll say section. The name of the variable, give it a name, section equals, we use the $ and create a bunch of variables. First, I want to target a blog li, the same variable for that, blog li, the list item, and I want to target the FAQ list item as well. So just go below and I'll create a function. And I'll use Targo accordion for JavaScript. For the jQuery, rather, this is a jQuery function, Targo accordion. So now the name of the function is Targo accordion. We create a variable first, we give it a name, and we target this blog.li, the blog.li. Let me show you that in the Java, in the HTML, the blog. Yeah, blog, li, we're targeting each li in the blog, and we're also targeting each li in the FAQ. So now we create a function. I will give it the name of Targo accordion for the function. And in the function, now want to use this variable in the function, which is section. I will say dot remove. We want to remove class dot remove. Remove class. So I want to remove this class active. Whenever it is click active, which is this class, we give this class active, remove that class whenever it is click, and then when that class is removed, when it's click, remove the class, sorry for this, and also when it is click, we want it to add the class to each clicked list, each link that is clicked, we want it to preview like this, So what we're going to do for that, we're going to use the $sign. I will say this dot add class. We want to add a class to each clicked list. So I say add class active. So now I want to call the function. We say section dot on click. Now we'll call the function Targo accordion, and we'll close this and save. So you see, it changes each function that is clicked. Now this is a problem from the CSS. I'm going to go back to the CSS, and I'll go to the blog. %, 100%, active display flex 10, active display flex 10, and what are we mixing? Flex 4, opacity 1, transform scale. Oh, sorry, we don't want it to scale to the top. This is scaling. Everywhere I want it to scale to the x-axis. So I'll just save that. Scale to the x-axis and bottom left. Okay, I'm trying to know what's happening to this. Why is behaving like this? And I finally got it. We have to this will be dot active, not active for the pseudo class. No, it will be just dot active, and I'm going to save that. And now it's working fine. So that is it for this tutorial. It took a lot of time to create this website. If you want to just support my efforts, guys, please just comment below and subscribe to this channel. That will really help me. That will really help me, and I will be grateful for that. Really appreciate that. So I will be posting another tutorial like this time next week also, so you guys can just click the notification bell so you won't miss the next tutorial. The next tutorial will also be a full website like this. So we're going to create a lot of things, but that might not be as this long, because I will try my best to make that really short. So guys, please comment, subscribe to my channel, and thank you for watching.